Chris is doing project number 1 from the storytelling manual. This is called the folk tale. Chris will tell folk tale from Slovakia, a country that Veronica Carrender has shown us pictures of and told us about. The story features a young woman and a wise mayor and tells how they came to appreciate one another and treat each other more wisely with time. It is set in an indeterminate time in the Middle Ages in a rural area of Slovakia. Chris says, listen, enjoy, and change your ways if appropriate. The time for Chris's speech is 7 to 9 minutes. Tonight he will be evaluated by Shane Downey, and the title of his speech is Clever Manka. Clever Manka. Please help me welcome Chris Rosell.
First, I'd like to ask your leeway to change my time to 9 to 11 minutes from 7 to 9, because I can't do this in 7 to 9.
Go for it.
Long time ago, in a country called Slovakia, that Veronica knows well and has told most of us about, there lived a young woman named Manka. On Manka's 18th birthday, her father, who was a humble shepherd, lost his stud ram. So he had to contract out to the lead farmer in the area to be able to get another ram. And the lead farmer, of course, had a prize ram, a champion ram, and Manka's father wanted one of his offspring. So he agreed to work several seasons for the farmer in repayment of the stud ram. So after the father completed the work, he went to the farmer and said, I completed the work, please give me the ram. The farmer reached in his pocket, pulled out a small gold coin and said, here, take this. The shepherd said, no, I need, and I agreed on, one of the descendants of your champion. The farmer said, either take this or leave it, but this is all you get. The shepherd complained to the mayor. Mr. Mayor, I've been cheated. The mayor said, how can I tell? There isn't a written contract. You and the farmer, come see me. Both of them came. The mayor gave them a task. He said, whoever can solve these 3 riddles will get the ram, or will get to keep the ram. The riddles are, see if you can solve them. What is the fastest thing in the world? What is the sweetest thing in the world? What is the richest thing in the world? The 2 men left, went home, talked it over with their families, came back the next day. The farmer went first. The fastest thing in the world, it's my thoroughbred mare. She passes everything on the road. The sweetest thing in the world, it's my honey. I've got the best clover, the best strain of bees. I've got the best honey everywhere. The richest thing in the world, my money box. It's full of gold. The shepherd went next. The fastest thing in the world, it's thought. A thought can circle the globe in an instant. The sweetest thing in the world, it's rest after a hard day's labor. The richest thing in the world, it's the earth itself. All riches come from the earth. The mayor said, well, it's clear. Mr. Farmer, give the ram to the shepherd. He clearly has the right answers. After the farmer left, the mayor approached the shepherd and said, "Tell me, how did you get such excellent answers?" The shepherd said, "In truth, Mr. Mayor, I went home and talked it over with my family, and my daughter, she is so smart. She told me just what to say. So that's how I figured it out." The mayor said, "Well, Mr. Shepherd, please bring your daughter to see me tomorrow. I want to meet her. She sounds very impressive." The shepherd said, "All right, Mr. Mayor, very gladly." But the mayor said, "But I have a condition. Tell her to come tomorrow, neither clothed nor unclothed. Tell her to come neither walking nor riding. Tell her to come neither at day nor at night." Well, the next morning, Manka awakened very early. She wrapped herself in a fishnet. She hitched the cart to the goat. She put one foot in, one foot out, went hopping down the road, arrived at the mayor's house at dawn, before the sun was up, but after night was dispersed. And the mayor said, "Oh, you are so clever. How did you figure that out? Please stay and visit all day with me." They talked all day, they chatted, they got to know each other, and the mayor was totally taken with the young woman. And he said, "Manka, would you marry me?" Manka said, "Well, yes, Mr. Mayor." But the mayor, as usual, said, "But here's a condition. You cannot second guess any of my judgments. Do you agree to that?" And Manka said, "Yes." So shortly after that, they got married, and they lived together happily for a number of years. One day, however, Manka was coming home from the market, and she arrived at her house, and there, seated on the steps, was a man, totally disconsolate, crying. And she said, "Sir, what is the problem?" And he said, "The mayor gave my excellent colt to the wagoner." And Manka said, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And the man said, "Whatever shall I do?" And Manka said, "Sir, if I tell you, will you promise me not to tell my husband I told you?" And the man said, "Of course." So Manka told him what to do. The man went home. He came back. He sat down on the steps of the mayor's house with a fishing pole and began casting, Ken, you know about this, casting into the road, the dry, dusty road, and flipping it back and casting and flipping it back. The mayor came home from the brew house and saw the man seated there. And he said, "Good sir, have you lost your mind? You can't catch fish in the road." The man said, "Mr. Mayor, I'm as likely to catch fish in the road as a cart is likely to give birth to a colt." The mayor said, "Oh my, I made a mistake. That colt is evidently yours. I am so sorry." And he awarded the colt to the man. And the man was so delighted. At that point, the mayor said, "How did you come up with such a good idea to convince me to change?" And the man, in his delight, forgot his promise and said, "Your wife told me what to say. It was so smart. I loved it." And the mayor said, oh, okay, well, here's your coat. And the man left, and the mayor turned, Manka! Manka came out of the house. Yes, husband? The mayor said, I told you never second guess one of my judgments. And Manka said, oh yes, husband, I'm so sorry. You have to go home to your father. I cannot live with you anymore. Manka was so downcast that her husband slightly relented and said, well, Manka, you can take your one favorite thing from my house, but you have to go home. Manka was so relieved that she fixed the mayor a delightful dinner and gave him all of his best wine to drink with it, at the end of which he fell asleep at the table. The next morning, he awakened in a strange room. Where am I? He shouted. Manka came in smiling. Husband, you're at my father's house. He said, what? You said I could take my favorite thing home. It's clearly you. The husband said, oh, Manka, I can't live without you. Let's go home. And they went home, and ever after, like any smart husband, the mayor asked his wife's opinion before he delivered a decision, and they lived happily ever after.